Before we get to the new, a bit about the old. The Lindenhurst Diner first opened in 1954.
On the corner of Wellwood, right down the block from here. And then in 1967, they moved it to this location. It's been here since '67.
That is until 2014, when the Lindenhurst Diner closed its doors.
The developer bought it. They were going to knock it down. It didn't go through. That's when we purchased it.
We is Peter Glykos and his family. They also run the Massapequa Diner.
Every town has their diner, and this was Lindenhurst's diner. It was important to bring it back, and bring it back better than ever.
So, if you hadn't bought it, what would this property have become?
We're planning on a 7-Eleven. Yeah, another 7-Eleven.
And they've gutted it already?
It was already gutted, yep. It was pretty much ready to be knocked down. The only thing they hadn't gutted was like some of the stuff outside, but the inside of the place was totally down to bare metal.
A clean slate for the new ownership.
I feel it was important to incorporate like the diner classic, have that retro look. What makes a diner, the chrome, the shininess. We're kind of mixing like a new style to it too. So that's what we did. We got a designer together, put our heads together, and we kind of just wanted to keep that retro diner look, but also be new school at the same time. So
Peter's been working in diners since he was 14.
Started off as a busboy, learned to be like a short order cook also. I was a waiter. I was a dishwasher sometimes. I still am sometimes if they need me to be. Whatever the store needs, you gotta do it.
Is more than a decade in the business, helping shape his view of what a diner could and should be.
I felt like the diners are just a great concept, but I just felt like it was just like a forgotten concept. Like you go to all these new places, you got burger places, you got places with the crazy shakes. And I feel like we had all that stuff, it just was the basic version of it. So I feel like, why not just have everything and just kind of twist, you kind of take the diner basics and just twist it all these crazy concepts. Like a grilled cheese.
Like a grilled cheese right here.
It's the buffalo chicken grills. It's got mozzarella cheese, gorgonzola, buffalo sauce, and chicken cutlet inside. So it's like a diner classic that just twisted. The buffalo chicken sandwich was popular. The grilled cheese was popular, so we kind of just took the two and made it into one.
I should probably dig into this, huh?
Good, you got it.
Well, it makes sense, right? Well,
why do we think of it sooner?
Who doesn't love a grilled cheese? I mean, buffalo wing sauce.
Yep.
You know, nice chunks of chicken, and you're making your chicken cutlets in house. This isn't some pre-bought frozen product.
No, we get the chicken. He has to butterfly and bread it and all that fun stuff.
But you have a chef here.
Yeah, full-time chef. He's here.
Not just shorter cooks. You have an executive chef.
We do, yep. Executive chef. He's here 6 days a week, from morning to night.
And you
got
got
the inspirations are like between our creations, like me and my father and my cousin that we had made, and then plus some of his creations, and kind of put our minds together and made our own little menu. Here we do the breakfast quesadillas with a quesadilla, like a traditional quesadilla, but instead of just having cheese or chicken, stuff it with scrambled eggs, Russian sausage, and home fries in the quesadilla. So I'm not a breakfast person, even though I own a diner. I'm not a breakfast person. I kind of like sandwiches, I like quesadillas, I like wraps. So one day, I was eating an omelet, and I didn't know what else to eat for breakfast. Like, I had omelet, eggs, omelet. So I was like, you know what? Why not take a cheese quesadilla and stuff it with an omelet? So pretty much that's what we did. We took a cheese omelet with home fries and just shoved it all in a quesadilla, grilled it up, and first time I tasted it, I was like, that's pretty banging, actually. This is pretty good.
For entrees, your chef does chicken meatballs, and he also does a tortellini that has a short rib sauce.
Correct, yeah, it's like a braised short ribs. It's in a Cabernet reduction, almost like a demi. It's like mushrooms.
It's kind of chefy for a diner.
It is, yeah.
All right, I think I need to see how he does that in the
Definitely,
kitchen.
we'll check that out.
Well, this looks impressive, Chef. What do we have going on here?
It's a cheese tortellini tossed in a Cabernet Sauvignon demi-glace with braised short rib and button mushrooms.
Well, that's fancy for a diner.
Yes, it is.
So how did you make this?
It's a process where we start to brown the short rib, season first with sea salt, cracked black pepper. After we brown all the sides, we add mirepoix, onions, carrots, celery, bay leaf, thyme, rosemary, tomato paste, and then deglaze with
the herb garden in there.
Yeah, we use all fresh ingredients here. Cabernet, deglaze with a Cabernet Sauvignon, and then we add a beef stock that we make in house as well. And then we cover it, place it in the oven for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Remove it from the oven, strain the mirepoix from that, and then reduce it down and also just thicken it slightly with a roux, which is equal parts of butter and flour. To order, then we have we take the braised short rib, which is very tender. We pull that. So then, when we get an order, we cook the tortellini. We saute the mushrooms in a little butter. We add the pulled short rib, the demi-glace, the Cabernet sauce. The pasta goes in. We use Pecorino Romano cheese. We toss that all together. Allow the sauce to cling to the pasta a little. We plate it and we garnish it with a little shaved Parmesan and parsley.
Okay, all that explanation was great, but all I'm doing is salivating just staring at it while hearing all that.
Enjoy.
Let me get in there. Whew. All right.
Good stuff, right?
You weren't kidding when you're talking about all those herbs in there. I mean, you get that in the sauce. Like, you get that
It's in the oven
herbaceousness, that fresh.
It's in the oven for 3 hours too, so all those flavors marry.
You get that rosemary, that thyme. Fantastic. You know, that nice rich beef flavor. And then, you know, tortellini. And you get that pop of cheese when you bite into it. These lovely mushrooms. This is not the kind of thing you would expect to find at a diner.
No, I grew up in a diner, and years ago, that is not how they prepared short rib. I mean, we really try to be on a level of a tablecloth fine restaurant.
That's your background.
Yeah.
You worked in more traditional restaurants. What drew you to work here as a chef at this diner?
Well, I grew up in the diner business, and that's where I got my appetite for the business. A friend of mine had said that the Peters family was looking for a chef, and we instantly took a liking to each other.
You could see that he had a vision. It wasn't just a diner.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a beautiful place physically, but as soon as I walked around and saw the ingredients on the shelves, you know, I knew that this is a place, you know, not a typical diner. It's a place that I could be comfortable.
All of that said, I know diners sometimes get a bad rap, but you know,
They do.
But diners mean a lot to Long Islanders. They're just sort of woven into the fabric of Long Island, and you're working here. You're trying to elevate things, but you're not trying to go so far to the point where people don't recognize it as a diner. Because diners, there's something about a diner that just people have a connection to. What do you think that is?
Well, you could get anything that you want at any time. Whether it's chicken noodle soup at 10 a.m., pancakes at 10 p.m., and it's a lot of comfort food. I think that's what it is, comfort food.
Well, this is comforting.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you want to come out to the Lindenhurst Diner here in Lindenhurst, they are open weekdays from 7 a.m. till midnight, weekends from 7 a.m. till 2 a.m. Okay, still more finer diners to come here on Restaurant Hunter.
Their breakfast, there are no better pancakes